already opened up in prayer. Our lesson today is coming out of Numbers, 14th chapter, 1 to 10. God's plan good. How can we have a faith despite opposition? How can we have faith despite opposition? Our aim for the change is to evaluate the reasons for the Israelites' refusal to listen to Joshua and Caleb. Desire deeper trust in the promise of God and confront the future in confidence of God's guidance and provision. Keep in mind, if the Lord delights in us, then he will bring us into the land and give it to us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. That's Numbers 14:8. So we're going to go ahead into our lesson. Before we do, I want to bring to attention on several things that we're going to be looking at. One is we're going to be looking at how we can be blessed only to forget how we got blessed and go back to the very thing he blessed us from, only because we are familiar with the mess that we came out of. We're going to learn that in our lesson today. And then we're going to start Numbers, the chapter 14. I'm starting the first verse. I'm going to read some scriptures, and then you follow from there. And all the congregation lift up their voice and cry, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmur against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, Would God that we have died in the land of Egypt? Or would God we had died in the wilderness? Somebody take 3. Number 3. Let me see. Wow. We have to look at this lesson, but we have to go with the content on how did we get to this part in the life. How did Israel get to this point where they were willing to stone the man of God because of where they're at? Yes. The content to this is that, one, Exodus 12 brings us to how Moses brought them out of Egypt. They were in bondage. They were captives. They were going under the rules of the Egyptian. Pharaoh had them bound. And they asked for a deliverer. So God sent Moses to bring them out of there. You remember when you were tied up in some mess in your life? And the first thing you did is say, Lord, can you please help me? Get me out of this. And he sent somebody, cousin, aunt, uncle, nephew, daddy, mommy, somebody to help you out of that bondage. Then, chapter 14 of Exodus, God also showed them by taking them through the Red Sea. Listen, he not only brought them out of bondage, he allowed them to watch the soldiers, Pharaoh's army, get destroyed as he opened the Red Sea. What a wonderful thing to see God do for you. Once he bring you up, your enemies, the main person who holds against you, he destroyed them. Then he gave them a relationship, brought them to the mountain of Sinai, where he instruct his law. Listen, this law that he gave them wasn't just for anyone. It was for his people. It was for those who came out of Egypt. Those who came to fellowship with him. And they seen this. Then he began to tell them that I'm going to let you go to a land filled with milk and honey. Listen. I don't know. Have you ever mixed honey and milk together? The sound of it sounds nice. He want to give them what he wants to give them. And this was his people. This is what those who have came out of Egypt. Now remember this. Not everybody that came out wanted the Lord. You know, there's some infrastructure, people who's in the mix of it, who's sitting there, and their job is to make it miserable for you. Our lesson is going to deal with rebellion. Our lesson is going to deal with who are you listening to? Because we got ears, y'all. It may sound good, but is it good? And our lesson is going to be, why are you afraid? Context. What happened was, God told Moses to send some spies to scout the land that he's going to give you. Now, I want you to hear that because, see, somewhere there was a confusion because God said, go scout the land that I'm going to give you. He already knows what's in there. I had a boss who transferred me to another Save-A-Lot that was having problems. And me and a new meat guy was there to get the store together. Now, the meat guy got in there, and me and him was talking, and there was a mess in the back room, and the meat was a mess. So when the boss came in, the first thing the meat guy said is, boss, listen. The meat is a mess in here. And the boss said, I didn't bring you here to complain to me. I already know what's wrong. I want you to clean it up. I heard that, so I didn't go to the boss. I realized, God already told Israel, that this is going to be your land filled with milk and honey. Who are you listening to? 12 men went, and 12 came back. 10 of them said that this place is not for us. Now, I know. We live in a democracy that says the majority rules. But are you going to trust the voice of someone who steering you wrong? And you know it? The congregation, text says, and all the congregation lifted their voice and cried, and the people wept all night because they did not want to go into this land that God gave them. You know how you do. The Lord gave you a new job, and you went training for the first day. After you got home, you said, I ain't going to make it here. This is not for me. I can't stand it. They getting on my nerve. But you asked him to move you. You asked him for a new job. And he gave it to you. Now the job that he gave you, you murmuring, I can't stand getting up here in the morning. But when Friday came and that check showed up, it was all different story, wasn't it? And then Monday came, I can't stand. Listen, nothing new under the sun, nothing new under the sun. In our lesson, the children of all Israel murmur against Moses and Aaron. Yeah. I can only tell you that Pastor Williams had so much murmuring on the people. I don't care. There's always going to be someone who got something to say. Even if they're wrong, they still got something to say. Here the people who were told that the land was theirs, yet still they had somebody come in and tell them, this is not for us, y'all. In fact, they said, there's giants, and we're like grasshoppers. Listen. A story isn't a story unless it's gory. It had to be bad for them to want to change around. Listen, there's folks already who did not want to listen to Moses and Aaron. There's folks already who did not want to listen to authority. There's folks already who had a hard time trying to listen to authority because they have their own agenda. And here, Egypt, Israel decided that because there were giants in there, we don't want to go. I want to go back. How's that working for you? How many times you went back once God took you out? You know, I know we sin in word, deed, and thought. But how many of us delight in the sin that we had to go back? You know, listen. I know. I just socially want to take a drink. Just socially. Your social got every night. But you still call it social. I just socially want to get on that phone and go into areas that I need not go in. But ain't nobody here but me. Who knows? But that very thing God brought you out of, you want to go back in. God brought Israel out of bondage. The text said they were murmuring against Moses and Aaron, and the whole congregation said to them, would God that we have died in Egypt, or would God we had died in the wilderness? They're saying, I would rather die where I was in bondage than where I'm not. Yeah. He brought you out of darkness into marvelous light. And in the light, you struggling? I would rather struggle wrong than struggle right. Sometimes we would rather go get beat up because we get the tick for tat. I'm distressed, but I got money in my pocket. I'm distressed, but my portfolio, he's not going to mess me up. I can do what I want to do. When reality is, if your portfolio was good and you can do what you want to do, then you could step out. But we want to go back to the very thing God brought us out of. And then the text told us that they were going up against Aaron and Moses, the one that got them out of Egypt, going up against God's man because they were afraid. I did not give you the spirit of fear. But yet you brought that fear into you. You know what keys on being afraid? The unknown. Not knowing what's going to happen causes us to be afraid to do what God wants us to do. You at your job and you don't want to talk about the Lord because you heard folks says, don't bring spiritual things to your job because you might lose it. But yet, if you have a God that's going to make a way out of no way and you trust in him, you ain't got to worry about what they say. They ain't got nothing. If you live the life you live, they will understand that the God you have, I need to know what to do with it. When they watch folks do you wrong, when they watch folks put you down, when you're down on the ground and you're still smiling, helping everybody else, that's the God I want to be with. So they said, had the Lord brought us into the land to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be prayed, where it's better not to return to Egypt? Listen, I told you, a story ain't a story unless it's gory. Now, who told them they was going to die by the sword? Who told them that their children was going to be preyed on? They said it to themselves. You know how you do it. I'm not going out there. So they might shoot me. I'm not, no, I ain't going. Look, I'm in my own zone. I'm going to do me. Because they're not going to say nothing wrong to me. They're not going to talk about me. No. Did I tell them I went to church last night? Nah, they busy having fun. A story ain't a story unless it's gory. Here, they thought that they were about to get killed by the sword because 10 men came back and said, don't go there, y'all. How many times you have got false information in your life? And even to this day, you wish you hadn't listened. You were told the right, but because so many said this, so many said that, evidently they must be right instead of you trying to find out for yourself because you're lazy. Text says, and wherefore they had, Lord, brought them out of the land, that they fall. He said, and they said to one another, let us make a captain to lead us out back to Egypt. If you don't be careful, you can fall for anything. It may sound good. Logically, it looks like it's good. But is it sound with the word of God? You have to yourself dig in this for yourself. Because the devil knows you're lying. He knows everything that will get you riled up. All somebody got to do is talk about your mama. Don't talk about my mama. My mama dead and gone, but don't talk about my mama. Isn't that what they say? And how they say it? I'm like, oh, she's gone. What you mean? Don't talk about your mama. What that got to do? Any little thing that we got to do to get us all roused up, it will. And Israel got so riled up that they say, you know what, let's get us another leader. This one is not doing us what we want to do. Matter of fact, this one's not doing what we want him to do. We want Moses to turn around. We asked him several times. Even though God has been providing, they needed something to eat. What did he do? He gave manna from heaven. We talked about that last week. How many days am I going to have to eat manna? Aren't you tired of leftovers? You're going to eat it until you have health. I never had, as a child, to pick what I want to eat for dinner. If it's on the table, I got to eat it, and I was happy to eat it. Children today, I don't want that. I don't want that. Okay, let me get, and we wind up wasting food like you never know it. Shoot, listen, we wanted the softy bread. The softy bread of the front of the bread with the crust. We couldn't wait to get that. And here we are, complaining. God gave them water. Here, it got to a point where Moses was so upset with the people, so upset at how they were on him, that God said, speak to the rock, Moses. And he got tired. You ever get so upset with somebody that they hit your last nerve? My mom always said, your last nerve. And my problem is, how did they know that was my last one? But they hit it. Took me over. Here in the text. He said, one another, he said, there were children who prayed. He said, take to another. He said, they wanted to get another captain. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their face before the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. The man of God had enough. That's all I can stand. I can't stand no more. Why do you think Moses and Aaron did that? What would be the reason for them, on all this murmuring that they were doing, to fall on their face? What you think? Right there, Moses and Aaron could not do anything else to get these folks on track but pray. Sometimes you don't have to be a bully to get folks in line. Fall on your face. Get on your knees. Push away something that is hindering you from talking to God. You need a meditation with the Lord. There's got to be somewhere a change in there. Moses and Aaron had nothing else to do but to fall on. They want to heap up another leader. Moses could have said, you want what? All right, go ahead, take it. I'm out of here. Aaron, get my boots. Let's get out of here. They could have just got up and left. Not taking this. Scripture says that Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. Why would they rent their? Why would you want to rent your clothes? What was that for? Anybody know what that meant when they rent their clothes? It's a mourning. They rent their clothes in mourning. You remember when David rent his clothes? It was in mourning because what happened was, even though they came and told them that, yes, we can take this land, folks didn't want to listen anyway. You ever have that? You told them, listen, don't go in that room because there's some problems. And they said, I got this. You gave them the warning. Text says, and they spake unto the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is exceedingly a good land. I want to bring you back to the part when God told them when they was leaving Egypt that I'm going to take you to a land filled with milk and honey. Now, this journey didn't have to take as long as it did. You ever go to a place and it seems like it takes you forever to get there, but when it's time to go home, you get home faster? And you say, hold up, I still took the same journey. But let me give you a thought in mind. See, while you're driving and you've heard and you look at the mileage, while you're driving and you know that this is how far it's going to go, already you done said to yourself, this is going to be a long ride. So you are defeated already because your mind is thinking, long ride, I got to get there somehow. And then when you get there, you're like, whoo, we here. But then when you go home, it's like, how did I get home so fast? That's how we sin in word, deed, and thought. See, once we take up on something that we should not, we begin to deem on it. I'm going to get her back. I'm going to get her back. I'm going to get her back. No, I'm not. I'm going to get her back. I'm going to get her back. No, I'm not. I'm going to get her back. I'm going to get her back. No, I'm not. I'm going to get her back. You ponder on this. Israel was told that they're going to a land of milk and honey that God is preparing for them. It took them 40 years. And he had to kill off some folks. That first generation never even seen it. Kill off some folks because the rebellion was too strong. And when they finally got on track, they realized who God was. Some of them still didn't see the land. Moses didn't go because of his disobedience. Listen. The reason why you are in your state now is because of your disobedience. God still keep you. Thank you, Lord, for grace and mercy. Had he removed his grace and mercy from us, can you just imagine if God moved the covering off of you? No. Can you imagine if, like in them cartoons, whatever you think, it shows up on top of your head? Lord, have mercy. Folks can see what you're thinking about? Shush! Just imagine what you're thinking about right now. He said in the text, he said, only rebel not against the Lord, neither fear the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is depart from them, and the Lord is with us, not fear them. When God called you out of darkness into the marvelous light, he is with you no matter what. I know it may look kind of hard for you. I know it may look stressful. Everybody in the office is talking about you. Everybody in the office don't like you. They don't like me. I don't know why they don't like me. Everybody in there don't want to help you for nothing. Don't put down. God is with you. Now, and if you in there causing trouble, that's on you. If you in there causing the trouble, maybe you need to go. But if you stand firm on his word, he'll make a way. He'll start moving folks. You don't know when he does it because you're not looking for it. You don't know when he do the change. He'll move the folks out of your way so he can shine. Not because of you, because of his shining that he put in you. The text says, but all the congregation blade stoned them with stone, and the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of the congregation before all the children of Israel. Just before they were about to get rid of Aaron and and Joshua and Caleb and Moses, God stepped in. Someone said, he may not show when you want him, but he's on time. Have you ever said, Lord, it's time? No, seriously, have you ever said, Lord, I know you ain't going to show when I want you to, but guess what? It's time, Lord. And yet he didn't show up, but reality is he did show up. You just didn't see it. Because your mind wasn't on him. It was on your problem. It was there. Here it go. Who are you listening to? You got to watch out who you're listening to. They may sound good, but are they good? Rebellions against the Lord